Happy holidays.
From our ABC 36 family to you and yours.
Merry Christmas and
Time for Good Afternoon Kentucky on ABC 36 News Now.
Good afternoon, Kentucky. I'm Doug High.
And I'm Lisa High.
Thanks for joining us. Let's get a check of that forecast with Chief Meteorologist T.G. Shuck. TG, we're in between holidays here and trying to enjoy some decent temperatures before we lose them.
It's going to be kind of an interesting stretch heading into January. As we've alluded to, we talked about kind of a pattern change where the colder air is going to return. Today, not bad. We started out with a bit of cloudiness, but we've seen enough dry air for at least a mix of clouds and sunshine. Here's a daybreak shot from Sherry Mathers, a little bit of sun on the horizon. We also had a little bit of patchy fog out across some of our central Kentucky counties, but not a whole lot going on. Again, a mix of clouds and sunshine. Feeling pretty good out there. Temperatures have been relatively nice. You look back to the west here, another wave of low pressure. That's going to be spinning our direction, and that'll roll in here later tonight and for the final day of 2024. So we are looking at more light rain. We do have some sun, as you see here live down at Lake Cumberland. Pretty afternoon down at the lake, and actually, again, temperatures are fairly comfortable. A few little scattered clouds in Frankfort, there in Franklin County, near Frankfort at the Kentucky Mesonet site. Got a southwest wind. That's kind of helping us out a bit, about 5 to 10. That's going to increase a little bit overnight and definitely will be breezy tomorrow. We're at 53 there. Checking temperatures across the area, mainly into the mid-50s, so we're roughly 10 degrees in most locations, above average for this time of the year. You have to get north of the I-70 corridor before you really get into any cool air at all, but it will eventually be here. Now, here in the short term, clouds will begin to thicken back up as we get deeper into the evening. That combined with a southeast wind up a bit, that's going to hold us probably into the mid-40s for early morning lows, and temperatures may creep up a few degrees as winds shift more southwesterly toward daybreak. I think by the time we wake up tomorrow morning on New Year's Eve morning, we'll have some rain in the area. The bulk of this stuff's going to be out of here for folks heading out to ring in the new year. Speaking of your forecast rolling toward the midnight hour, just a little patchy drizzle, I think, on the backside of this departing system, right around 40 as we ring in the new year. Cold air follows. There's a little clipper we'll watch Thursday night into Friday, but really the big story this week is going to be a storm system arriving Sunday into Monday. You know the drill in early January. Track is everything, models all over the place, but all modes of winter weather on the table potentially at this point. More on that in your 7-day coming up.
All right, TG, we'll see you soon. Well, there's 2 days left until the sale of certain vape products becomes illegal.
ABC 36's Jane Davenport spoke with a vape store employees about the new House Bill 11 and how it's going to change business and impact customers.
Fans of watermelon ice, sour apple, or white peach slushy e-cigarettes will no longer be able to purchase the devices here in Kentucky starting January 1st.
But we are devastated for the customers. They absolutely love this stuff. They may have a favorite, but they come in every week looking to try a different flavor. It's honestly a hobby for most people.
A hobby the legislators who worked to pass House Bill 11 say is harmful to Kentuckians, especially those who are under 21. While the current law says retailers are not allowed to sell nicotine products to anyone under that age, this new law has added a ban to the kinds of products these retailers can sell to anyone.
We hate to see people lose their choice. Consenting adults should be able to do whatever they want, but your politicians have decided to take that choice away from you.
All of Red Wing's vape products will come off the shelves when the clock hits midnight on New Year's Day, but legislators didn't ban all vape products in the state.
Currently, the FDA is restricted down to 3 vapes. We have none of those. We're waiting on them from our suppliers. And the key to FDA approval is no flavoring and no colorful packaging, which, as you can see, that's everything we have.
As underage vaping continues to rise in the country, politicians hope to see a decline in Kentucky with House Bill 11 in effect. But as for those who have been legally using these products,
you will find some little old ladies, 70 years old, coming through that will tell you how much they value this this over smoking.
The sale of e-cigarette products that are not FDA approved becomes illegal on January 1st. In Winchester, Jane Davenport, ABC 36 News Now.
Well, people around the world are remembering former President Jimmy Carter. Carter died Sunday at the age of 100, surrounded by family in his hometown of Plains, Georgia.
The former president had been in hospice care for nearly 2 years. He was the country's 39th and longest living president. As ABC's Nicole D'Antonio reports, tributes are now pouring in.
Tributes are pouring in to honor former President Jimmy Carter.
We may never see his like again. We'd all do well to try to be a little more like Jimmy Carter.
In his address to the nation Sunday, President Biden remembering Carter, who was 100 years old, as the longest living president in U.S. history. Biden and Carter sharing a friendship that spanned nearly 50 years.
Millions of people all around the world, all over the world, feel they lost a friend as well, even though they never met him. And that's because Jimmy Carter lived a life measured not by words, but by his deeds.
President-elect Trump writing that Carter did everything in his power to improve the lives of all Americans. For that, we all owe him a debt of gratitude. Former President Barack Obama stating, Carter taught all of us what it means to live a life of grace, dignity, justice, and service. And from former President George W. Bush, Carter was loyal to his family, his community, and his country. And the Clintons. He worked tirelessly for a better, fairer world. Carter's one term in office was defined by foreign policy. He brokered a historic peace deal between Israel and Egypt, which is still in effect. But an energy crisis in the U.S. and the kidnapping of 52 American hostages in Iran played a role in his political undoing. Carter was just 56 when he left the White House. But in the more than 40 years since then, Carter and his wife Rosalind devoted themselves to humanitarian pursuits, both in the U.S. and around the world, with the former president winning the Nobel Peace Prize in 2002 in recognition of those efforts.
When historians write the paragraph on Jimmy Carter, 100 years from now, what do you want to be at the top of the list?
I'd say maybe peace and human rights. I kept the country at peace for 4 years and promoted peace for other people.
And President Biden ordering a state funeral at the National Cathedral in Washington, D.C. next Thursday. Carter will be laid to rest in his native Plains, Georgia. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Atlanta.
Back here in Kentucky, state leaders are reacting to the death of former President Jimmy Carter. In a post on Facebook, Governor Andy Beshear says, in part, quote, Jimmy Carter was a true American. He lived through his faith and values each and every day, lifting up his neighbors and serving our great country through kindness and compassion. Meanwhile, Congressman Andy Barr on X says, quote, President Jimmy Carter was a man of service, humility, and dedication to others. His impact on our nation and the world will not be forgotten. And Senator Mitch McConnell on Facebook says in part, quote, Elaine and I join the Senate and the nation in mourning the passing of our 39th President, Jimmy Carter. President Carter lived a true American dream, end quote.
In Washington County, a man accused of firing shots at deputies and a state trooper is due in court today for a preliminary hearing. According to court records, 37-year-old Bradley Couch is scheduled for that hearing this afternoon. That happened at 12:30 on attempted murder of an officer and assault charges. State police say Couch is accused of firing shots at a trooper and deputies on December 11th as they were getting out of their vehicles. According to investigators, they were responding to a domestic violence call about a woman who says she was assaulted at his home on St. Rose Lebanon Road.
In Pulaski County, a man has died after being struck by a car. The county coroner said just before 8 o'clock Sunday morning, 69-year-old Sherman Dick was in the Burnside area of Somerset, walking along U.S. Highway 27 near Boat Dock Road when he stepped in front of a car. Officials say they found Dick dead at the scene. They say the incident is being investigated as an accident.
Monday, a federal appeals court upheld the civil case verdict that found Donald Trump guilty of sexually abusing writer E. Jean Carroll.
The court also denied Trump's request for a new trial. Trump had challenged the $5 million verdict, saying the trial judge had erred in allowing testimony from two other women who who also accused Trump of sexual assault.
The appeals court disagreed, saying they weren't persuaded that a new trial was warranted. A separate jury awarded Carroll $83.3 million after finding Trump defamed her by denying the sexual abuse. Trump has also appealed that verdict. Well, still ahead. To say that playoff hopes for the Bengals are precarious is an understatement. Our Forrest Tucker breaks it down for us coming up in sports.
And a gift for drivers as gas prices in 2025 are expected to drop. Details ahead.
Well, not a bad Monday, especially 2 days shy of the new year. A little mix of clouds and sunshine, highs in the 50s. Enjoy it while it lasts, as we've got some big changes on the way, especially toward the weekend. Your 7-day forecast is next.
We'll start your last day of 2024 with us here tomorrow on Good Morning Kentucky.
We have a look at your headlines ahead of the new year.
Big weather changes on the way as we start 2025. Details coming up on Good Morning Kentucky.
The first time you try Bounce, it hits you. Your laundry feels way fresher, softer. So you start to wonder, if I put a sheet of Bounce on the finance guy, will it make him softer? Bounce can't do it all. But for better laundry...
Need to sell your house fast? I'm Todd Haas. We make selling your house fast and easy. We can buy your house as is in as little as 10 days. We buy inherited houses, trashed houses, divorce houses, and foreclosures. In fact, we buy just about anything. Call me today for a free home visit. 859-888-1100. Haas & Haas Properties is the faster way to sell your house.
At Furniture World Superstore, we're ringing in the new year in a big way. Incredible savings store-wide. Then on top of that, up to 2 years interest-free. New year, new rooms. Dual power reclining transformer sofa, $9.99. Reclining sectional with 3 recliners, $9.99. Extraordinary savings, up to 2 years interest-free. It's a sale on top of a sale. On top of a sale. Savings plus up to 2 years interest-free. What a way to ring in 2025 at all Furniture World Superstore locations.
You think, how can this arch support in my shoe make my back pain go away? But it works. And how can it make my knee pain go away? It was incredible.
Hip, knee, or back pain? See if arch supports can help you at the Good Feet store.
When you take me by the hand, I feel better again. Oh, I feel better now.
Hi, I'm Kincaid.
Hey, it's Dallas.
Start your mornings the Kentucky way.
On K92.9, we give you the most fun in the morning, we make you laugh, and we just have a good time.
Listen to us. Country music contest, whole lot of fun. Kincaid and Dallas, K92.9.
We put the K in Kentucky country.
Time for your ABC 36 Storm Team forecast.
Welcome back, friends. Well, it's not going to be a complete wash for your New Year's Eve, right?
Yeah, it's kind of nuisance rain more than anything. We're not going to see a whole lot out of this, and the hope is that the bulk of what we see as this low spin through, it'll be out of here by the time folks head out to enjoy the ringing in of the new year. And of course, some of the rain that we had around yesterday and this weekend, fog this morning, especially in the valleys out into central Kentucky, Taylor County, Marion County as well. Visibilities are down there a bit. You can see it. Nice shot around daybreak from Gina Garrett. Not much going on. The clouds were a little stubborn this morning, but by late morning into the early afternoon, back into some sunshine. So it's been a fairly pleasant final Monday of 2024, but you see out west already some moisture and clouds gathering in the central plains. That's that next wave of low pressure that will cruise in here for New Year's Eve. Out at the Kentucky Horse Park, of course, southern lights tonight, tomorrow, and then that is it. 55. We've got a bit of a south to southwest wind. 5 to 10. It is going to increase in speed tonight and into the day tomorrow, and that will help us out temperature-wise as far as slowing the cool down tonight. Up on the hilltop near Hyman, Knott County, the Kentucky Mesonet there, it is 52. So really temperatures around the area feeling pretty good. We've got a few upper 50s to around 60. Remember that average high is now creeping down toward the lower 40s, so we're a good 10 degrees plus above the curve. You get up into the Great Lakes, northern part of the Ohio Valley, that's where the chilly air is. It will get here, but that's probably not going to happen until we get past New Year's Eve tomorrow night. So here comes that area of low pressure. It literally will spin right through the heart of the area. And then on the backside of it, that's when we're going to see the colder air kind of slowly trickle in. It's not going to be a drastic thing, but compared to what we are enjoying right now, you're definitely going to feel the difference. So for the remainder of the evening and the overnight, notice 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, a few scattered showers. We start out into the mid to upper 40s, and then as we go through the morning, notice how temperatures spike up into the low 50s. That's when we'll see our high, and as the low goes by, winds will begin to shift more to the west. So by the end of the afternoon tomorrow, we'll be down into the low 40s, and then heading toward midnight, you see we'll be into the upper 30s. I still think we're going to see a few light showers, maybe some patchy drizzle on the tail end of this, but I mentioned a tenth, maybe a quarter inch at best. It's not going to be a big widespread rain event. So your New Year's Eve forecast here as the ball drops at midnight, probably upper 30s to around 40 depending on location. That's not terrible considering years past, but again, solid rain chances tomorrow. And then we'll watch Friday, really Thursday night into Friday. And we mentioned this at the end of last week. For the new year, looking good on January 1st, albeit some lingering clouds, will be into the mid to upper 30s. And then notice little batch of moisture here. Kind of a fast-moving clipper system that's going to dive into the area, and that, of course, could put a few light snow showers in play into the early hours of Friday. Don't think it's going to be a lot, but it may be enough to, say, lay a light coating down, and what it will do is bring a reinforcing shot of colder air in. That's going to set the weekend up, especially the beginning of it, Saturday afternoon highs, even with a little bit of sunshine around, may only be around 30. And things get interesting as we head into late Sunday, because the problem is area of low pressure is going to be sliding by to the south. High pressure's off to the north. You know the old layer cake deal. At the surface, we got a northeast wind. That's going to keep temperatures below freezing. Just over top of it, a few thousand feet. If this scenario plays out, everything stays in a liquid form, and that's when you run into your icing and freezing rain, which of course is never in the travel brochure, so to speak. But if it tracks farther north, it's all rain. If it tracks farther south, it is all snow. We always seem to be right on the line here. So if you have plans late in the weekend into early next week, you just need to monitor this. And then after that, of course, we're going to see more cold air. I mean, Arctic shots, several of those. Temperatures actually could stay below freezing as we roll past next weekend into the following week. I mean, look at the dip in the jet stream. I mean, we're talking cold temperatures all the way into central and northern Florida here. So some of the coldest air in a while could be on the way, say a week from this Friday. So that's something to just kind of keep in the back of your mind. Of course, we got to get there first, but that coldest core of air, again, right over the heart of the Ohio Valley and the Great Lakes. So welcome to January, the new year, and winter by then. Breezy, a few showers late, 46. Tomorrow, that 52 late morning. Occasional rain, cooler late, and you'll feel it in the afternoon because of that wind shifting to the west at about 15 to 20. Now that we can't handle as we get into Wednesday, Thursday. Again, we'll watch that clipper Thursday night into Friday. Beginning of the weekend begins quiet, but then we'll really watch Sunday and Monday again for really all winter modes on the table, depending on the track of that low.
Aqua Living now has 14 hot tubs under $49.99. Our patent-pending Thermofill will fill your hot tub with hot water on demand, then drain it when you're done, eliminating the need for chemicals and high electric bills. Shop us now at shophottubs.com.
Spend the holidays with Family Feud.
Come on, man, let's hug it up. Last time I hugged Santa Claus, I was 4.
Weekdays at 10, 4, and 7:30 on ABC 36.
Hot Wheels fan, are you ready for the all-new Blow and Fire? Come watch your favorite Hot Wheels monster trucks fly, crash, and smash with all new stunts and featuring the world premiere of Scalosaurus with thrilling freestyle motocross and the fire-breathing robot Arctic Gun. Meet the Hot Wheels monster trucks up close at the pre-show party. Save big with special kids ticket prices. Get your tickets now.
When you're injured on the job, you need more than just a workers' comp lawyer. Many times your injury was because of a defective product, and our team of product lawyers will bring a claim against the manufacturer. Other times, you need to file for Social Security. Finally, your employer could try to retaliate if you bring a claim, and our employment law team is ready to slap them back hard. You can count on us. There's only one Morgan & Morgan for the people.
Jen loved her Gain Hibiscus Hula Flings until Brad moved in and brought along a few new, exciting additions. And they discovered that when they mixed their scents, they were more than just soulmates. They were scentmates. Mix, match, more happy with Gain.
There's one Lexington station on the rise, and that's ABC 36 News Now.
Thanks for your support, Kentucky.
ABC 36 News at noon.
Thank you for your support, Kentucky.
ABC 36 News at 5, 5:30, News at 6.
Thank you for watching, Kentucky.
News at 11.
Hey, thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it.
Experience relaxation at its finest with our American-made hot tubs and cold plunge spas made right here. By selling directly to our customers, we keep prices low and quality high. American-made spas starting at just $24.99. Shop us now at shophottubs.com.
This portion of ABC 36 News is brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs.
Time for sports, everybody. Last week, I was in this studio and said that the playoff hopes for the Cincinnati Bengals were in a delicate balance. After that must-win for playoff contention game versus the Broncos, I'm afraid that was an understatement. My apologies. Versus Denver, Cincinnati made mouths dry, palms sweat, and hearts skip probably more than one beat. A touchdown and a turnover from each team in the final 3 minutes of regulation set up overtime. In the fifth quarter, Bengals kicker Cade York was responsible for the doink heard round the tri-state, and Cincy's playoff hopes look to be zilch. But Old Faithful Joe Burrow and Mr. Needs a New Contract, T. Higgins, salvaged the game for Cincy with just over a minute left in overtime. The scenes were amazing, and that win brings us to Week 18, where we take a look at the updated path to the playoffs for the Bengals. Here we go. The 30-24 win checks one box of the control your own destiny part of this equation, and Cincy is looking towards beating the Pittsburgh Steelers in Week 18 on Saturday at 8 o'clock away in Pittsburgh. That's another must-win game. Earlier this season, the Steelers beat the Bengals 44-38 in the Queen City. And that's just a little bit of the battle. There's more that's out of Cincinnati's control that we have to take into account. Right here we go. Now, the Colts and the Dolphins had to lose one of their final games. Thankfully, Indianapolis did their eastern border friends a favor and lost to the lowly Giants yesterday. But Miami won against Cincy's in-state rival Cleveland yesterday. So Cincinnati still needs them to lose to the Jets if they want to have a shot at making the playoffs. That may be the hardest part of the equation because Miami beat the Jets 3 weeks ago. Lastly, this may be a sure deal in some people's eyes. The number 1 seed in the AFC, Kansas City Chiefs, they need to beat Denver, the Broncos, who just made the trip to Cincinnati, for all those dominoes to fall. A little easier of a task there, in my opinion. Anyways, those are the 3 things that need to happen, plain and simple. And that's your look at sports. I'm Forrest Tucker. There is more show after the break.